Hi, it's KAIJA. We're at my mom's house and we're gonna talk about my upcoming single called Bobblehead. Bobblehead is very personal to me, as are all of the other songs. Growing up with the kind of personality or way of seeing the world that I did, I've met a lot of people from many different walks of life who have shared their wisdom, their stories with me, their travesties or their tribulations and all the happy things. And you know, sometimes I'm so inspired and moved by their stories that it really sticks with me. You know, sometimes it's amazing, happy stuff, sometimes it's quite sad, but Bobblehead is, it's dedicated to all of my friends and people in the sex industry. I've just noticed that there seems to be such a burden that's placed upon sex workers, but there's no accountability for the purchasers of it in the first place, you know. And I think that sex workers get a lot of flack, they get a hard time, and they get kind of thrown around a little bit, like emotionally and sometimes physically. And Bobblehead was just meant to shine a light on that, maybe get some accountability to the clients, and just raising awareness to make it a safer industry for all involved. I mean, the first thing that that differs them is the fact that they all have a really, really different message behind them. Also, I think that Bobblehead is more of a upbeat, kind of happy song. And I think that Busse and Persigo are more, they're kind of dark pop, slower a little bit, and Bobblehead has a groove to it. But also the message behind them, they're all ardent messages, but they're very different. Persigo is about being in the drug trade, like the sad part of it, you know, like always on the run, not really ever having a break or ever, like always having to be on the move, and the anxiety that comes from that. Busse is about substance abuse and addiction and fighting for sobriety, you know, more mental health issues that come with that. And Bobblehead is obviously about the sex trade. So I think personally that they're all very different songs. I think that they all bend and overlap into different genres respectively. And I mean, I see a complete difference, but I would love to hear what somebody else listening to all three would say and see if they see a comparison. I would love to know if they feel the same way about it as I do. I've always loved that question because my whole life I've never really fit in anywhere. I mean, don't get me wrong, I fit in anywhere, but like I didn't really feel like I belonged. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like my music genre reflects just that, you know, like I don't really have one strict thing that I stick by. I kind of dabble in every single genre and take from it, and so I don't want to limit myself or label myself to a genre. My ex-management actually, that was the main things that they said. You have to pick a genre, you have to pick a genre, you can't do this one day, that the other. And now it kind of just made me get to the point where when somebody tells me to conform, I like rebel. And it sometimes is a problem, but I really don't confine myself to a genre per se. But I mean, I would just say if it's popular, then it's pop music. You know, that's the original definition. So there we go. There's that answer. So the whole idea behind the word quintet was that I really felt that each song, I needed it to stand out on its own. I did a photo shoot separately for each song, and although they're all part of the KAIJA EP, I really wanted to put emphasis on the fact that they are all individual thoughts, emotions, feelings, concepts that I wanted to really shine a light on. So I named it a quintet because quintet essentially just means 5 things that are on their own, but they're together in a group. I grew up going to church with my grandmother. She was the pianist there, and I'd always sing at praise and worship, and she'd be playing the piano. She taught me for a while, actually, but I was super sporty at the time, and I quit piano to go play sports with my friends. And then later on, I kind of got back into it, just picking out chords by ear, and I found it was really therapeutic. And then so it kind of was another way for me and my grandmother to bond. We'd play piano together, sing together at church, like get dressed up on Sunday and go. And then I was actually on a TV show, and I'm not going to tell you which one it is because I don't want everybody to be able to see that. But when I was 15, I was on a TV show, and it kind of like being on stage and having all the lights there and hair, makeup, and cameras kind of solidified my desire to pursue this as a goal. I am from Auckland, New Zealand, the place that does not have any COVID at all right now, where I'd rather be. But yeah, a little tiny country below Australia, and that's where I rap.